And welcome back to Electric Bike Mark. On this video I'm going to be riding the Kingbull Ranger, as you see it right there. And what I want to talk about on this video is something that is on a lot of people's minds right now, and that is, can your e-bike really be banned? And so let's talk a little bit about that before we hop on the bike and go for a ride and talk more about it. So yes, the answer is yes, your e-bike can absolutely be banned. Have its access severely restricted or even be confiscated by law enforcement. Whether this happens depends entirely on how your e-bike is built, where you ride it, and whether the bike's battery and electrical system is certified safe. The rapid rise of e-bikes has led to stricter regulations, age limits, and outright bans on certain trails or roads. Your e-bike risks being banned or heavily restricted for a few primary reasons. One, it exceeds standard power and speed limits. In most U.S. states, including where I am here in Tennessee, a standard street legal e-bike must meet the federal definition of a low-speed electric bicycle. A maximum motor of 750 watts and a top assisted speed of 20 miles per hour or up to 28 miles per hour with pedal assist. The e-moto problem. If your bike has a throttle that can push it past 20 miles per hour without pedaling, or a massive motor of 3,000 watts, it is illegal or legally considered a moped or motorcycle. Riding these on standard multi-use bike paths or sidewalks is illegal, and the bike can be impounded. You're riding this is number 2. You're riding on restricted trails or sidewalks. Even if your e-bike is perfectly legal on the street, land managers often ban e-bikes on specific multi-use paths, mountain biking trails, or sidewalks. Class restrictions. Many parks use the Class 3 e-bike system. Class 1 and Class 2 e-bikes are pedal assist and throttle only, up to 20 miles per hour, and often allowed. While Class 3 e-bikes, which reach 28 miles per hour, are frequently banned from natural surface or multi-use trails. Always check the local rules for your state before hitting the trail. 3. Unsafe or uncertified batteries. Condo building bans. Due to a dramatic rise in lithium-ion battery fires, many apartment buildings, condo complexes, and public transit systems have banned e-bikes, especially those using cheap, non-certified batteries. Many jurisdictions, including California, mandate that e-bikes have accredited safety certifications like UL 2849. 4. Age and equipment violations. Many states have raised the bar on riders' responsibility. In areas like California, riders under 16 are banned from riding Class 3 e-bikes, and parents can be fined if the e-bike is not equipped with the proper reflectors or lights. So let's hop on and talk a little bit more about this. It is kind of nerve-wracking, especially for those of you that are getting into the e-bike world with your very first bike, and you don't know what's going on, what bike. So let's talk a little bit about this now. The thing is, when you're buying your very first e-bike, you don't know exactly what to buy because you're not sure of the laws in your state, and the laws are constantly changing, being updated, and it does get kind of confusing. I think the best way to look at it is, first of all, when you're riding your e-bike, don't ride in a way that you stand out in the crowd. Kind of keep it cool without riding excessively fast, keeping it in with the speed limit of 20 miles an hour or so, or 28 when you're pedaling. And, you know, don't be weaving in and out of traffic, that kind of stuff, doing wheelies. Anything that will get attention, you don't want that. You know, you just want to ride along and do your thing. You know, there are a lot of the accidents that they're talking about and injuries, you know, that wind up in the ER. Most of them, they say, teenagers or younger accidents, right? And they don't, it doesn't mean adults are immune from this, but it seems to happen a lot less often to older folks than it does to the kids. And so, you know, maybe there's going to be a time here where we completely ban kids from e-bikes, maybe until they're 18 years old. I don't know. But most people buy an e-bike not trying to break laws. I think most people are trying to, like myself, we're just trying to, you know, get around. It's a means of transportation that is cheap. That's one thing. And secondly, it's a great leisure activity to get outside and enjoy the outdoors, you know. And we're not looking to break any laws, cause any trouble. We're just out there minding our own business, doing our own thing. So that's the way I see it. And I think if you just, you know, do your ride responsibly and all that, I think you'll be fine. But you know, not everyone does that though. Some people just want to get on a bike, and they talk about the bike becoming a motorbike, right? If it's got a certain amount of power. Well, some people absolutely want that, right? Like they'll get a bike and they'll modify it. They want it to go as fast as they can possibly get it to go. I don't think I wanted this street, I want the next street. And they'll do that, they'll get it going. I want this street. They'll change things out, controllers, motors, and everything else. I might be in the minority here, but I like to get the bike and buy it for what it is. I don't think about the bike and say, okay, I'm going to get that bike, see what it can do, and then modify it to go 60 miles an hour instead of 28 miles an hour. I never think about that. If I want a bike, now this is just me talking personally, but if I want a bike that can go those kind of speeds, then I'll buy a bike that can go those kind of speeds without trying to modify it later on. And I think what happens is we get into this situation where some people modify bikes, and the majority of riders out there do not modify their bike. They buy it for what it is and ride it, you know, with what the bike has to offer. But that small percentage that modifies the bike to go faster and exceed whatever class level the bike is at, that's where we get into problems. And those are what they're trying to weed out, really. And unfortunately, the situation is when they start doing that, sometimes they paint all of us with the same brush, and we all have to pay for that very few percent that do the illegal things. So they lose trust with all riders. If one rider makes a mistake, they make it so that basically they're telling you that, you know what, it's the bikes, you know. They don't think about the riders, it's only the bikes. The riders are the ones that control how the bike operates. The bike isn't controlling you, you control the bike. And I wish they would think more in that frame of mind when it comes to rules and regulations on e-bikes, and go after the ones that are doing these things rather than regulating the bikes. I think what happens is it becomes easier for them to just make all the bikes that are that category illegal, rather than trying to nab this rider and that rider kind of thing, right? I think they just want to say, well, we're just going to get rid of all bikes that go this speed or have this much power, and that way we don't have to worry about it. I'm going to go down further. I was going to turn there, change my mind. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this. First of all, here's a good question too to ask. Have you ever been pulled over and questioned about your bike? I have not, myself. And if you have been pulled over, what questions have they asked you? That'd be a great question to ask you, the rider. And are you a first-time buyer looking to buy your first e-bike, but you're a little concerned with the laws and what exactly you should buy to make sure you're abiding by the laws? What I would say is, if you're really worried and you're not worried about going fast, get a bike that's class 2. 20 miles an hour, 750 watt motor, the nominal wattage. So if they say the bike is 1200 watts peak, don't be too concerned with that, depending on where you live. For most states anyway right now, they're more concerned really with the nominal 750 watt. I think a good way to make it so that it doesn't confuse riders would be to just not allow the bikes at all to be purchased in that state if it's illegal. You know what I mean? Like, if the bike has a 1,000 watt motor on it, don't allow it to be purchased in that state. But then the problem is, you can't do that, because how do you know for sure that that person's going to ride the bike on the road? Because the bikes are legal on private property, right? So they can't really ban you from buying an e-bike that's in their eyes deemed as illegal, because they can't assume where you're going to ride it. Anyway, it's a crazy situation, and I think eventually we'll have more clarity on this, but right now it's kind of up in the air and wild. But eventually we'll get there. And all I can say now is just keep enjoying your e-bike. We'll see where this eventually goes, but that's going to do it for this video today. Thank you very much for joining me on Electric Bike Mark. And if you have any comments that you'd like to make with regard to this topic of banning e-bikes, and can they actually ban your e-bike or even take it from you? Yes, they can. So be careful out there. Thank you very much for joining me. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, thank you very much. Just hit that subscribe button. If you want to be notified as to when the next video comes up on the channel, just hit that notification bell. And if you want to leave a comment, like I say, on this video or any other videos that you've seen on the channel, go ahead and leave that in the comments below. And once again, thank you for joining me on this video. And until next time, be safe, everyone, and keep your wheels on the road. See you later.